إنك لا تهدي من أحببت ولكن الله يهدي من يشاء.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi, it's John Fontaine. Just before we begin the podcast, please make sure you click subscribe and also set your notifications. Please support on the Patreon account. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi. Me, John Fontaine, with the Young Smirks podcast, and I'm with the latest TikTok sensation all the way from Cheetham on the Hill in Manchester.
That's right.
Abu Hafsah.
Yeah, I mean, we're on Alaikum Salam. We're on the Young Smirks, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, when people ask me how old are you, I say 39 years young. So I'm kind of on the right podcast.
You're still in the Young Smirks. We'll let you on.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it.
Abu Hafsah, subhanAllah, we met you here for the first time in Gambia.
Gambia.
So your first time to Africa. Well, no, you've been to Egypt.
Egypt, yeah. But like sort of West Africa, this is my first time.
Sub-Saharan Africa, yeah?
Yeah.
And we got speaking, and subhanAllah, we're from the same area. We like literally live 10 minutes away, but I can't remember meeting you ever.
I met you once when you were on your Dawah table outside Kashinkare.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, there's John Fontaine, okay. Yeah. And then obviously I see your video pop up on that, you know what I mean? And then you did that video in Pakistan when you gave the adhan at Badshah Mosque.
Badshah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
it's a beautiful masjid, that.
Yeah. It's like a
Whereabouts in Pakistan are you from?
I'm from Lahore. That's my end.
So that's your masjid.
I literally live about 10-minute drive from there.
Yeah. It's one of my favourite mosques.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's built in a way, you know, the old Mughal mosques.
Mughal area, yeah.
See, it's like a square and it's empty in the middle.
Yeah.
But if you recite Quran where the Imam is, you don't need the sound system. Yeah. And it echoes all around the way it's built.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
That's how. I think that's the whole purpose of domes in the first place.
No, but there's no dome in that one, is there?
They've got them big.
Yeah, but what happens if you're stood at the back of the masjid? You know, like the square building goes around, but in the middle it's empty.
Yeah.
It echoes around the sides.
Right. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
SubhanAllah.
Yeah, they were built for that, weren't they?
Yeah. So Abu Hafsah, I wanted to get you on the podcast because I've been on YouTube for about 10 years now.
MashaAllah, yeah.
And I went on Instagram. And then, you know, people are like, yeah, there's Snapchat. And I'm like, no. And then they're like, there's TikTok. And then there's this, there's that. And I just kind of stopped at Instagram. And it's like when I first came to Islam, you know, it was standard to watch a 1 hour lecture.
Yeah.
You know, if you're watching something about Islam, you watch an hour, 1 hour lecture. Yeah. And that's how you consume like content.
Yeah.
And then things change to like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes. Yeah. And now it's like 15 seconds. You know.
Anything more than 15 seconds.
So for me, it was difficult to kind of fit into the TikTok. I never really got it. But you have become a bit of a TikTok sensation.
Yeah.
Since
I mean, like back in the day when I first started practicing, like 2007, and we were eager to learn about the deen, so we'd travel, so we'd get in a car, we'd go to another city, there's a talk there, we will sit there for an hour plus a Q&A session, and even then we'd be like, it's finished, no, it's finished.
Then you have the CDs, the audio
CDs
thing.
when you're driving about, and then slowly, it became a YouTube thing. Okay, they were still long enough, it was a YouTube thing, but now it's just like 15 seconds, anything more than that, they're gone.
For me, I couldn't see myself going on TikTok. I just thought, how am I going to be able to convey, you know, like a message in that short time, that kind of limited thing. So it's quite interesting because I thought TikTok was useless. But recently I've seen a few of the duets go on to TikTok. Yeah. Seen this week, Sheikh McCarthy. He's gone on to TikTok.
He's gone on now.
And then I found out you were on TikTok giving like reminders. Yeah. So I scrolled through some of your content and it was like, literally in 15 seconds, you managed to get some little Dawah things over. Yeah. So how did you think about this?
To be honest, bro, so like basically one day I downloaded TikTok and I'm just coming across Muslims on the TikTok, right? Once you scroll for a bit, it kind of recognizes where you're at. So it starts sending you Muslim content. Now I'm seeing brothers with beards, sisters with hijabs, and they're doing things that have an Islamic kind of tone to it, it's kind of making a mockery of it as well at the same time. You know, Ramadan was about to come, so they're making like videos where it felt like they're taking a mick out of Ramadan a bit.
Serious.
And obviously it's a dangerous thing, right? You know, mocking about the deen and stuff. We can have a laugh and a joke, that's fine. But when you bring in elements of the deen into it, it's kind of dangerous, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So I just left it. And then one day I'm just scrolling again and I'm seeing Muslims and they're going crazy on TikTok. They're going mad.
Like what?
And I'm like, what's going on here? And apparently there was a non-Muslim girl. I don't know her name. Like it was somebody anyway. And she basically, when you make a TikTok video, you can add a sound in the background.
Yeah.
Right. So this non-Muslim girl, she's put the Quran in the background and she's like sort of dancing to it. She's just dancing to it, you know, in a room or whatever. And Muslims are going mad all over TikTok. Astaghfirullah, look what she's doing. This, that, and the other. And I'm thinking, yeah, okay, yeah, it was wrong what she did, right? But then I'm thinking, I'm seeing Muslims on a daily basis on this app mocking the deen, knowing that it's wrong, right? But then when a girl who probably doesn't know, she probably just thought, this sounds a bit nice. You don't know, innit? She probably, she doesn't know it's the Quran. She's not like bound by the Sharia like we are, right? To her, it's just a sound and she's moving to it.
Know,
It's wrong, but she probably don't even know any better. But Muslims who are supposed to know better, they're mocking the deen on a daily basis. They're mocking their parents on a daily basis. So I'm sat in Tesco car parking lot for you Americans, right? And I spoke to an American once. I'm in a car park. What's a car park? Oh, you know, outside the store. A parking lot. I go, yeah, that's a parking lot. So anyway, I'm in there, and I had a rant because I was in a bit of a bad mood anyway. So I just opened it. I'm like, yeah, you guys, you know, you're talking about her, but you're mocking the deen on a daily basis. And I didn't think anything was going to come of it. And all of a sudden, I'm getting a lot of people like, yeah, what you're saying is right, bro. It's like, where's all these guys coming from? And then I realized that there is a need for like, you know, somebody to come on there. Now, I'm not the superhero of TikTok. There's brothers that are doing it.
You know what they want? They want a super Mulvey.
They
want a super Mulvey.
Yeah, but, you know, hopefully, you know, without the big bear belly, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so there were brothers, obviously there's other brothers that are doing a much better job than I am. So that presence is definitely needed there to kind of, you know, show people actually what's right and what's wrong.
Because the thing is things change so quick. Like they say now, like Facebook users are like 30 and above year olds. Yeah. There's no one under 30 really entertains Facebook.
I downloaded Facebook when it first came out.
Yeah.
Back in
uni. And then you got Instagram. And now like most of these youngsters, you know, under 20, under 22, 23, they're just TikTokers. Yeah. You know, and it's like you just got to keep up with what's going on. Yeah. And I wouldn't advise people to, if you're not on TikTok, you don't need to go on there.
No.
You know what I'm saying? I would advise people just don't go on there.
Don't go on there.
But for someone like yourself, who, as you said, there's a need. Like there are people who are on that, so there needs to be certain individuals.
Everyone's on it, whether you like it or not.
But I'm shocked that like someone, you know, who looks like you. Yeah. You know, you look like a proper Pakistani Mulvi, right? And you're a bit older than.
I'm a dinosaur. I'm a dinosaur on that
TikTok crew.
I'm old for that app.
But your accounts like blew up in a good way, not a
couple of years, yeah. You know, I mean, it's taken time. I mean, there's guys that come on there and they'll smash 1 million in like a week. You know, so it's different. But yeah, I mean, like for me, it was just because everybody needs to do dawah one way or another. We've all been commanded to command the good and forbid the evil, whatever it is in your capacity. So for me, to be able to work and then to give a little reminder, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, whatever. It works for me to do it that way. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely needed there. Like I wouldn't recommend like a sheikh to be on TikTok. I mean, there are some sheikhs, you know, if you end up on Arab TikTok, there are some, you know, in the Middle East, there are them guys as well. But in the UK and in the West, like if you're a sheikh and you're teaching, it's not really, I don't know, I don't think that it's needed there, but there's definitely a room for people to be there to kind of keep everyone in check. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And there are brothers that are doing that as well. Yeah. Other brothers as well that are doing it. And sisters.
We know some mutual friends like Isa from Leeds.
Yeah, mashallah.
And,
a lot of
Jordan.
readers. Yeah, Jordan.
You mentioned
Hamza, you know, Hamza's den.
Hamza, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's been on my podcast before, Hamza.
Has he, yeah?
Yeah, Isa's been on before.
Yeah.
Jordan's been on before, actually.
Yeah.
And there's a brother Ben as well.
Ben Ikra, yeah.
There's like a little TikTok scene.
Yeah. There's a lot of
Also, Dr. Faraj.
a lot of reverts. Yeah, Dr. Faraj. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Let me just do
show him, man. He's just chilling, man.
Quick shout out over there, Dr. Faraj. But yeah, you know, you got a whole kind of TikTok scene going on.
Yeah. And a lot of reverts.
And there is benefit. There is benefit. You know, I was very quick to write it off in the beginning, but seeing brothers like yourself, you know, Dr. Faraj and a few of the others who are coming with them positive reminders. And
bro, there's such a big opportunity for Dawah there as well, actual Dawah, you know. Yeah. If you just think of Speaker's Corner, right, on TikTok, because you can go live on TikTok, right, and you can open up your lives to anybody. So anybody, you can sort of make a green screen in the background, like with a screenshot, just write something like, you know, God is one, he's not three, come and debate me. And you'll get random Christians coming on and debating, you know what I mean, and debating
so
theology.
Tell us some of the stories.
And a lot of people, they're watching.
You said a few people have accepted Islam on there.
Yeah, loads. Yeah. There's Brother Adil on there that he does a lot of lives and he does a lot of debates with Christians and whatnot, you know. And mashallah, he gets shahadas all the time. Even me, bro, it's like they'll watch your videos, and my videos are not really debate or refuting Christians. They're not them type of videos. I'm just putting out like, say this when you go to the bathroom, when you come out, say this and blah, blah. You know, simple.
Don't do this, do this.
Yeah, you know, simple stuff. But people, like non-Muslims, they're interested in that as well. So they'll message you on Instagram saying, oh, wow, you know, I didn't know these things. It's really interesting. And then you can start a conversation with them on Instagram and this, that, and then they take the shahada.
MashaAllah.
Yeah, they're just, people are curious about Islam.
So when you started this TikTok, did you start in the lockdown or have you been going for longer?
Yeah, it was lockdown.
Is it because of lockdown you started? Or?
Because of lockdown, because I wasn't working, I had a lot more time. So I did it, you know. Had that not happened, I don't think I or many of the brothers would have. Because TikTok blew up because of the lockdown.
Even YouTube, to be honest. I mean, you know, since the lockdown, you know, there's like a whole kind of wave of new YouTubers and Instagrammers. Yeah. You know, it's like a new thing, you know, because people got a lot more time. People just wasting a lot more time online and stuff. Yeah. And it's interesting how things change, isn't it? Like you say.
Don't forget, even like because of the way TikTok works, Instagram caught onto that, and Instagram has created its own version of TikTok called Instagram Reels. So people are kind of growing their accounts on Instagram just by posting the TikTok that they've made onto Instagram Reels, and they get an audience there as well. I mean, that's what I've done. Yeah. And YouTube clocked onto it, and that's why they've got their version, which is YouTube Shorts. Yeah. It's the quick 15-second, 20-second reminders. Boom, people are gone.
I mean, you set up your TikTok. You know, inshallah, may Allah benefit the people, and use you to benefit the people. I mean, and also you've had the opportunity to actually get involved in some charity work as well.
Bro,
you're here in Gambia.
I'm here in Gambia. I would never have dreamed ever in my life to come to Gambia. Like,
just a quick shout out to Brother Abu Bakr.
Mashallah, at the Spot
Project. Check them out. We'll put the links below.
Yeah, mashallah.
The Spot Project. They're working in Gambia and also the UK, and they're going to be working, I've heard, also in other countries soon as well. Yeah. And you know, subhanallah, you know, you through your TikTok, you managed to actually support them, raise some funds, help the orphans, help the poor people and needy. But how was it for you actually to come out to Africa to see where the funds are going and actually experience sub-Saharan Africa? How was your first experiences?
Bro, I actually thought it was going to be roasting hot 24 hours a day, and it wasn't that, you know what I'm saying? But it is a different experience for me, you know.
What was you expecting before you came?
To be honest, it wasn't much different to what I've seen, because obviously you see a lot on TV as well, do you know what I mean? But the main thing for me was like the weather, you know what I mean? But then when we went to that village yesterday as well, I saw a lot how, okay, there's poverty, but for those guys in that village, it kind of looked like for them that was normal. Yeah. And because of that, I saw them kids and they're smiling, they're playing, you know, they're wrestling, and you know, like in the UK, if you've got a brother or sister, you'll be snatching the PlayStation controller off each other's hands. Yeah. These kids, I saw them, they were snatching a plastic bottle like, you know, that's mine, and
playing,
they're playing
yeah.
with that, and they're happy.
Yeah.
Happy. Obviously, they need water and things
you know,
like that.
I've seen a video. You know, Adnan Rashid.
Yeah.
He is in Tanzania right now.
Is that now? Yeah.
Yeah, and he posted a video. There was like 3 African kids sat there, and he gave one of them a bottle of Coke. Instantly, this kid starts sharing it with the others.
Mashallah.
They've got the top of the Coke, right, and they're pouring it out like that, and they're sipping it and passing it around.
Look at that.
And Adnan was nearly in tears. Like, he's like, "Look at this," you know, instantly sharing. Can you imagine in the UK? People don't share. Don't share nothing.
Greed, innit, bro? Greed. The more you get, the more you want.
You know, you really come back to the important things in life when you see. I think in the West, you know, just living in concrete jungles, technology, we get a bit detached from the world. We don't see where our food comes from. We don't see, you know, nature.
Yeah.
You know, and we get detached from the real world and the important things in life, like family.
Yeah.
You know, like being in
Family is
Africa,
breaking
you see
up.
everyone eats together on a plate.
Yeah.
You know, in England, English people don't have that.
The bonding is there,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? When you come and you sit together and you eat and you talk.
Yeah.
In the UK, bro, before they took out the extended family, now they're taking out the nuclear family, and now it's just about you and just your life, and you'll have a little apartment somewhere. You might have one kid. You know, population is in decline in that way, you know, and society's just messed up. Here, okay, they didn't have the access to water and education, and you know, the McDonald's and things like that, but they got the happiness. That I didn't see any of them when I went to that village. I looked at them and think, you know what, they're depressed. No one looked depressed.
Never.
You go to the UK, you'll see a guy driving about in his Ferrari, and then when you have a conversation with him in the gym or whatever, you can tell it's not right. That's why suicide is so high there.
Yeah. You know, one thing that I like seeing, like just how far Islam has spread throughout the world.
Yeah, you were saying
that. I mean,
before.
Islam's been in Africa, you know, hundreds of years. You know, there was big Islamic empires here.
Yeah.
The Empire of Ghana, right?
Yeah.
It stretched from like where modern Ghana is today to like here.
Yeah.
You know, you had like the big empires in Nigeria, you know, stretching over the Mansa Musa Empire.
That's right. Yeah.
You know,
he was like the richest man ever, wasn't he?
Yeah. And Islam's been here
Yeah.
since very early on in Islam, you know. And there's a massive scholarship here. You know, there's big scholars in Africa.
Yeah.
You know,
unfortunately, that information isn't out there though, you know, because there is a perception of like, there's not that many Muslims. Like anytime somebody talks about Muslims in Africa, they're just thinking about Somalia, you know what I mean? But they don't really think about this
West
side.
Africa, yeah. That was one thing that shocked me. I've said it many times.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when I first came to Africa, seeing black Muslims.
Yeah.
That for me, I'd never associated Islam with black people.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I always thought it was like a Pakistani thing, or not even an Arab thing. For me, it was like just Pakistani.
That's because of where you live, innit?
Yeah.
In the UK, like all the Muslims in your community, 99.9% have always been Pakistani. Then slowly Libyans came and started, you know, coming in that community. And
but it's good, you know. I mean, do you think it's kind of sparked your desire or want to kind of explore the world a bit more?
I do want to explore the world a bit more. I wish I could help the world a lot more. And I say to everyone that if you've got a platform, because it's a lot easier to have a platform now than it was when it was just YouTube or just Twitter. If you've got the ability to, if you've got an influence and if you've got a platform, you know, you can benefit yourself in whatever way you want, but make sure you're using that to also benefit people out there.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Because you know what? Sometimes I was saying this, I can't remember who I was speaking to before. When you do a good deed in private, okay, you might just open the Quran and you recite for a bit. You can be pretty confident that you did that for the sake of Allah. Allah knows best whether it's going to be accepted, right? But when you're doing good work or da'wah or anything which is in the public sphere, you're constantly battling with yourself.
Yeah.
You have to really dig deep in your heart. Am I really doing this for the sake of Allah?
Yeah.
Or am I doing it for the views and the likes? And you know, and you have to really dig deep. And sometimes you don't know. It's easy for me to say, I'm doing all this for the sake of Allah.
Yeah.
But you don't know deep down. Day of judgment comes, they might just get blown away.
So how do you manage that? How do you?
I actually read a fatwa. I think it was from Sheikh bin Baz when somebody said that, you know, I want to command the good and forbid the evil, but I'm scared that I might fall into showing off for riyah, which is a type of shirk, right? And the Sheikh said, no, that's from the shaitan as well. You know, there's one thing showing off with your good deeds, and there's one thing not doing the good deeds because you fear that you might end up showing off, because that's also from the shaitan.
Yeah.
We've been commanded to do the commanding the good and forbidding the evil. So we just do it, and you just
still
take
do the
act.
deed.
You still do the good deed, but check your intentions all the time.
Yeah.
You need to do that. You need to make dua.
You know, another thing, because, you know, literally people are just becoming famous on YouTube. You know, not YouTube, on social media,
Yeah,
you know.
big time.
Like literal massive stars, right? Like famous.
Yeah.
And one thing I say is, and I heard this many years ago, is like, whatever you do in public, you know, of course, hope that it's accepted.
Yeah.
But take it as if it's not.
Yeah.
You know, and do things that are private.
Yeah.
You know, make sure you have some deeds where it's just between you and Allah.
That's it.
You know the famous hadith about giving, you know, with the right hand, and the left hand doesn't even know, you know, what's being given. That kind of concept of hiding your good deeds, having something between you and Allah.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, because as you said, you know, social media, we hope and we ask Allah to accept our public deeds. And accept our, you know, and clean our intentions, our niyyah. But at the same time, you know, mashallah, at the same time, you know, don't not do it. This is a big mistake some people do. They're like, oh no, I don't know if I'm sincere, so I'm going to stop.
Yeah.
No, don't stop. Keep doing it.
Keep doing it.
You know, and yeah.
You have to renew that intention, bro. You've got to renew that intention.
Definitely.
Don't stop.
So we got Dr. Faraj here just saying Ameen, Ameen, Ameen.
He's making dua for us for us to have like
what you said?
may Allah give us pure intentions.
MashaAllah. let me just you know, zoom in a bit, you know, make sure your knee is right. Oh, we're joking. Well, yeah, mashallah, you know, it's interesting how things move fast. Yeah. And subhanAllah. So without going into too much detail, I don't want you to, you know, say too much. Before you mentioned you started practicing it like 2007.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to just dig a bit into that. I don't want to go too deep. Just what inspired you to, without going, you know, say whatever you feel, you know, to basically, you know, what do you mean by you started practicing it 2007?
So I was born into a Muslim family, right? I was born and raised in the UK, and my parents were good parents, mashallah. They've given me a lot of love, and you know, I didn't have any reason to be a rebel. You know what I'm saying?
And did they move from Pakistan, or were they born in UK?
Yeah. So my dad came over in 1966, and my mum a couple of years later, and I was born in 1982. And then I was born, I was raised, I went to school and everything like that. But then you hit the teenage years, you start meeting people and you get caught up in madness, and you know. But then there was always a few group of friends. We spoke about one of them before, right? And they'd advise you, you know what I'm saying? Because they were on it, mashallah. They were on the deen from when they were young. And they'd advise you, and you'd take it on board, you'd be interested, and you wouldn't disrespect them.
You know what's funny, actually?
Go on.
SubhanAllah, that the same guy was also had an effect advising me.
That's what I'm saying.
Look at that.
But them brothers have got away with their words.
SubhanAllah, look at that, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Allahu Akbar.
Yeah, mashallah, they were always good like that, you know.
SubhanAllah.
And you have to be humble, though. You have to admit, you know, you have to take advice of people, even if you're on a madness right now, right?
Yeah.
When somebody's coming to give you advice, just take the advice, because at the time, you might be a bit, leave me alone. But you know when you're lying in bed on your own at night,
you'll hear it, don't you?
You hear them. You hear that advice. It's ringing in your head.
I always say that about non-Muslim dawah as well.
Yeah.
That at the time, the non-Muslim might look like they don't care, but they won't be able to sleep at night. They start thinking.
It plays on your mind, you know, because you need to take on that advice, because, like I said, you know, when you're in bed at night, it does play on your mind, and eventually, it will kind of be that trigger for you to kind of think, you know what, that's it now. I've stopped messing about.
And deep down, you know what they're saying is right.
Yeah.
People know that worshipping Allah is the right thing to do.
But the problem nowadays, bro, is like, I mean, that's obviously like, you know, the non-Muslims that are thinking about Islam. One thing I've noticed now is like, you know, like when we were growing up and we were doing whatever we were doing. We knew it was wrong. And we had this intention, inshallah, one day it'll all stop and we'll rectify ourselves. Now I've noticed is that people aren't recognizing that that thing itself is wrong. They're justifying it now Islamically, which is worse. Because now you're going to spend the whole of your life doing that thing, thinking it's okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That repentance isn't going to be there anymore. And that's something that you see on TikTok a lot.
You know what? A hadith comes to mind. And the Prophet said regarding the weakest, the strongest of Iman, the one, if you see an evil, change it with your hand. Yeah, if you can't change it with your hand, change it with your tongue. If you can't change it with your tongue, at least hate it in your heart.
Yeah.
Right? These days, they don't even hate it in the heart.
Because you think
And
it's
the
allowed.
hating in the heart was the weakest of Iman.
Yeah.
Right? These days, it's like, not only do they not hate it in the heart, we don't even see that it's a bad or evil thing.
No.
We don't even notice it. I've said this many times, bro, but I'm going to repeat it. A reminder is from, a good benefit to the people.
Yeah.
But I've said this before. I traveled from Kuwait once with my Sheikh to Dubai. When we reached Dubai airport, he started crying.
Yeah.
I said, Sheikh, what's wrong? He said, look at the alcohol. And he's crying in the duty free.
Yeah.
He's crying because in Kuwait there's no alcohol.
Yeah.
He's crying because he's seen alcohol.
Just because he saw alcohol.
Not a bar.
Yeah.
I'm talking about duty free.
Subhanallah.
The bottles and the thing.
Yeah. So when he was walking through the airport, he saw
He
it.
just started crying.
Yeah.
Because he's noticed the evil. We just walk past it. We don't even see it.
Yeah.
We see, I'm sorry to say it, but we see half-naked women on the streets in Manchester.
Yeah.
We don't even see that anymore.
No.
The weird thing is that now, sometimes you're walking through Manchester, there are people hardly wearing clothes, but we don't even see it.
No. You don't notice it.
If a woman took a hijab off in say Mecca,
Yeah.
people would be like, just seeing a woman's hair would be fitna, right?
Yeah.
But we're so exposed to like these evils, we don't even see them anymore.
That's true.
That's crazy, isn't it?
It's true. Subhanallah. That's true.
So, subhanallah. So when you were 2007, sorry.
Yeah, roughly.
That was it.
Yeah, so to be honest, for me, it was like I went on holiday. I went on holiday to Tunisia. That was my first time going to a Arab Muslim country. And like I said, you have a certain perception in your mind of what different parts of the world are going to be like. Like I said about Africa before, I had like a perception of Arab countries. In my head, it was going to be Deen,
really religious,
Arabic, Quran. I thought that, you know what I'm saying? And it ended up not being like that when I got there, put it this way. It was like, it was crazy. It was crazy. And it's like, obviously I went there because I wanted to have a lot of fun, you know what I'm saying, with my boys. But one of the guys that came with me, he was actually on the Deen as well.
Yeah.
And he was always advising me as well. One of them brothers that wanted to advise, he was always advising me. He came with us and we went there, and I'm saying to my mate, that same religious guys, look at these guys, man, they're supposed to be Muslims, they're Arabs, they understand the Quran, and look what they're doing. Like this was in Tunisia, in one of them holiday resort type of places. And like I'm seeing like prostitution everywhere, and I think subhanAllah, these are Muslims, look what they're doing. And my man's looking at me like smirking a bit, like, you know what I mean? That
young smirk,
young smirking at me. Right? And I'm thinking as well, like, I know what you're thinking, bro. I know what you're thinking,
So he's looking at you thinking,
he's
what are you
looking at
talking
me as
about,
well,
bro?
like, well, how can you talk? Like, okay, you know what I'm saying? You might not be doing what they're doing, but you do other things as well. Now, you can't get up and change what they're doing, but you can change what you're doing, innit?
Yeah.
Right? But to be honest, it's like, I was at that stage in my life and I thought, you know what? That's true, man. Like, if we want to make changes in the ummah, it has to start at home with yourself.
Yeah.
So for me, at that point, I thought, right, that's it. I'm done. You know what I'm saying? No more smoking. That point was my, like, I put down everything that I had in my hand. I said, right, that's it. I'm done now.
Yeah.
Right? It's the Deen now. Because it was always there in the back of my mind. One day, inshallah. And I think that this was my one day, inshallah moment. You know what I mean? It was here now. If I wanted to see a change in the ummah, it had to come from me first. Like, no point me sitting there pointing the finger at next man and saying, oh, look at them guys when,
Yeah.
So then the next day, we had one more night left in Tunisia. So every night we'd be going out partying, right? This one night was left, right? And then after that one night, the next morning, we were going to go home back to Manchester. So that one night, it was time in the evening to go out again. And a couple of other guys that were with us, they went out. And for me, at that point, it was a case of, we've got one more night. So what? It's just one more night. Let's go out and chill. Yeah. And then tomorrow we'll go back to England and just start practicing then. Right? I could have done that because it was one night. I'm there anyway. But then I thought that, nah, because I need to prove to myself that I'm serious about this commitment.
SubhanAllah.
So I'm saying to the guy that was with us, that the religious guy that I said about, he never went out. He just used to stay in the hotel. And I said to him as well, and he's looking at me like, what are you going to do now? Are you going to go out because you're here anyway? Or are you going to, live up to what you were saying? I didn't go out. I said, boys, I'm not going out. They go, what? You got one last night here, man.
MashaAllah.
Chill out. I go, nah, bro, because I know if I go out now, it's not going to stop. So for me, I had to test myself and prove myself to myself that I can do it. And then when I came back, then alhamdulillah, and even praying that same day, like in the daytime, Zohar came, Asr came, I could have been like, I'll start praying when I go to England because I'm on holiday now. It's a bit inconvenient.
But you started it on holiday?
But I started on holiday.
Wow.
I started on holiday.
MashaAllah.
You know what I mean? Like the thing is, like, this is what I'm talking about. When you're telling people these things, you hope that you're doing this to inspire other people.
Yeah.
But then you're still battling with yourself inside that, have I just done this to show off? I'm hoping that I'm not doing this to show off. And it's not coming across that way.
No, it's not.
Just to let other people know that it can be done. And I've seen loads of people. And then I came to Egypt, and that was the first time I met Abu Bakr.
Yeah.
About a year, the brother who runs Spot. Yeah. And these were the first time I'm meeting reverts to Islam now, and they've come to Egypt to learn Arabic.
Because you spent some time in Egypt learning Arabic, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that was like the following year. So no, the same year when I started, started taking.
Sorry, just stop a minute. Does anyone want to donate to get some new batteries for this smoke alarm?
I know, yeah.
The smoke alarm.
It's been going off.
Annoying me, bro.
It's going off.
This is loud.
I don't know how it goes.
Where is it?
I don't even know.
Go on, bro. But yeah.
Yeah. So.
So you went to Egypt following year.
So that year I came back. And I'm started praying now. Mum seeing that I'm starting to take my deen a bit more seriously. She's happy now, you know what I'm saying? And I started watching talks on TV, you know what I'm saying? And started to try and keep myself motivated because at that point I didn't want to come back and start hanging about with the boys I was hanging about with before going on holiday. Yeah. Because that would have meant I'm just going to sit in the car watching them, smoke whatever they're smoking, and I'm just going to sit there like that. And it was only going to be a matter of time before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they understood. Alhamdulillah, I'm saying to boys, look, I'm trying to change my ways now. Mashallah. I can't hang about right now, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And they understood though.
Mashallah.
That was a good thing. Like they respected man for that, and they said, no, bro, you know what? You do your thing because you're doing the right thing. Mashallah. They knew I was doing the right thing. So they were supportive. They said, do your thing. And so yeah, that same year I started, watching lectures on TV and stuff. And then I'm seeing, who was it now? It was, I can't remember who it was on TV. He started talking about Hajj. And I looked at my mum, and the Hajj was in about 3 months' time. I said, Mum, let's go on Hajj.
MashaAllah.
Yeah, so we went to Hajj that year as well. Alhamdulillah, me and my mum for the first time. And she was the happiest that she's ever been, that she's going to Hajj, and she's going with her son for the first time. So me and her doing Dawah, and it was just a next level Hajj experience,
MashaAllah. She must have been proud of you, man.
She was over the moon, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, mums want to see that.
I'm just imagining, because we've got children, right? Imagine our children asking us, "Do you want to go Hajj?" Yeah, you're proud of your children.
Yeah.
For it to come from them.
Yeah.
MashaAllah.
Especially the way I was, Yeah. And then from that.
And did she see the change in you as well?
She saw it. She saw it. Obviously, in them days, there was that concern as well that, where's all this coming from? You know what I mean? So I had to kind of show that, look, I'm mellow. I'm not about the...
That's the thing, what I've noticed with people who are born into Islam who start practicing. Yeah. Sometimes it's harder for you guys who are born into Muslim families when you start practicing, whether a sister puts hijab on or a brother grows a beard, then the family, Muslim family, sometimes they're like, oh, he's becoming an extremist. Did you get some of that?
I had that a lot. So my beard started coming out. Why are you growing your beard? All right, you started praying.
Yeah.
Why do you need to grow your beard? To be honest, there is this perception as well that you don't actually need to grow your beard.
Yeah.
You know, they don't actually know that actually the beard is like you have to keep a beard.
Sunny, yeah.
Prophet ﷺ commanded us, right?
Yeah.
Grow your beard, trim your mustaches. So, like, but then there is that concern that is he going a bit hardcore now? You know what's going on? So obviously it took a bit of convincing that nah, man, I'm not about that. You know, I just want to get on with my deen.
Inshallah.
So, but it does happen, man. When a sister wants to start wearing hijab or jilbab, often, like we talk about how they get this negative energy from the non-Muslims in the community, but actually most of the hate or the remarks come from your own sort of relatives sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What's he doing that for?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what? You know, we're Muslims as well. We don't do that. Why are you doing that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so you have to
Mashallah.
go through it, man. So yeah, we went on Hajj, and then the next year, a brother Ibrahim, I don't know if you know Ibrahim actually, right? He said, should we go Egypt to learn Arabic for a bit? So I said, yeah, let's go then, because I was eager, I wanted to learn. So we went, spent some time there, learned, and that's when I met Abu Bakr as well. And
how was your time in Egypt?
It was good, man. It was good because that was like my first time after Tunisia going out.
Did you have a more positive experience there?
Yeah, because what it was in Tunisia, we went to a holiday resort.
Yeah.
And that's made for tourists. You know what I'm saying? Especially Western tourists. Whereas when you go to Egypt, I went to Cairo, like that's the city with the most mosques in the world, right? You know what I'm saying? And you're hearing the adhan. So I felt that there was a lot more deen in Cairo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so if I felt a lot better going there. And then obviously we were there to learn Arabic, and you're mingling with people from a different culture now, and
Inshallah.
you're seeing things differently. So it was good, man. It was a good experience. You know what I'm saying?
So
and meeting converts there, because these were the first time. These were the first brothers that I met that were converts to Islam, or reverts, whichever word you like, right? And they're there and they're dedicated to the deen. Like they become Muslim. Bam, they want to learn Arabic. They want to learn Quran, and I'm looking at it like, we were given Islam on a plate, right? And we didn't show that kind of dedication. Mashallah, these brothers are here. So it inspires you even more to want to carry on.
So when you started practicing in where you're from in Manchester, I know the area you're from, there's quite a lot of different Islamic groups, sects, mosques, different kind of understandings of Islam.
Yeah.
How did you kind of maneuver around that and kind of find your way and become a bit more balanced? And, how was that in the beginning?
So when you first start practicing, you have to really question, things like that you've been told, because there's a lot of culture that isn't necessarily Islam. Some of it is, some of it isn't. And you have to try and kind of go into it and try and see which part is actually culture, which isn't. And then you ask questions. And you ask questions from these guys, you ask questions from these guys. And you want to form an opinion based on facts. You know what I'm saying? And then so you've got to do that. You have to do that. You have to go through that journey. And often you end up having to reject some of the practices that you were brought up doing. Even when you weren't practicing, there were certain things that you still did,
Yeah.
And you do get a bit of a backlash for that as well. Like, what are you doing, bro? This is not what we do. But at the end of the day, like when you do that research, you have to follow what actually appears to be the truth, right?
Yeah.
So
I say, one thing for me, because I'm coming from a Christian background, I couldn't trust Christianity at all. It had no basis.
Yeah.
So when I found Islam and it has the Quran and the Sunnah, the Hadith, clearly giving us, telling us and showing us how to practice and be a Muslim.
Yeah.
And then when I first came to Islam, I'm just seeing that different groups doing this, doing that, which kind of going against what I'm reading.
Yeah.
And it's like, so it's just like, if you've been raised in a certain community who are doing certain things, sometimes when you kind of come away from that, it's like a backlash, right?
Yeah, big time. Yeah, some people don't want to give me salams anymore. Relatives, they don't want to give me salams anymore. Like I'm not even Muslim anymore for some people. That's how it is sometimes. But like you were brought up being told that those guys over there, watch out for them, because they're X, Y, and Z, and they believe in X, Y, and Z. So stay away from it. And you're growing up, you go, what are these guys? You know what I'm saying? But then you end up coming across them and you sit with them and you chat to them and say, listen, I've heard you guys believe these things. Is it true? Often you'll find that actually it wasn't true. It was probably exaggerated, or it wasn't true at all. Or if it was true, there's evidence for it.
Yeah.
Right. So then you go back to the original guys and say, right, well, this is what they said now. Right. What do you have to say to that? And if their answer is just name calling, right, you know they've got something to hide.
Yeah.
And them guys are more than likely, they're giving you the sunnah to follow, then you just got to make that move, man.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But then you do get the backlash with it.
Yeah.
The more closer you are to Tawheed, the more of a backlash you'll get.
So what are some of the things you've witnessed? Because you've been Pakistan many times, haven't you?
Pakistan, yeah.
Yeah. What are some of the things you've kind of witnessed that...
In terms of the deen?
Yeah, which you like, where that's not like right in Islam.
I think like, again, before I was practicing, a guy that I knew there, he was a friend of mine, he took me on Thursday nights. So in Pakistan, there's loads of shrines of old people that, they were probably pious. I'm not knocking the people that are in the shrines of them everywhere. So the guy said on Thursday nights, they kind of commemorate these shrines and that. Yeah. So I went with him because he took me because it was Thursday night. And when you get there and they're playing the dole, the drums, right? Yeah. And there's a guy spinning around and he's high on weed, and I'm thinking, this isn't Islam. This is before I was even practicing. Yeah. This isn't Islam. Yeah. This isn't our deen. So he took me there anyway. And then we walked in, we get to the grave, and the grave's all like, tombed up, and there's a cage, people putting, all sorts on it. Well, okay, what? Then he said, now, the guy said to me, make dua. The guy said, and this is like way before I even started researching, the guy said, make dua. I said, what do you mean make dua? Why do I need to make dua here? He goes, no, ask him, he'll help you out. The guy's telling me, ask him, he'll help you out. I'm thinking, I said to him now, and this is the Thursday night when there's loads of these guys and they're really kind of passionate about this. I said quite out loud, how's he going to help me out? He's dead. I said that obviously in Punjabi, right? And his head's turned, and this guy grabbed my hand, said, let's go. Because if they grabbed me and they heard me say it, if they caught me at that point, I probably would have been dead. Yeah. They're really, really serious about that thing. So for me, like, and like I said, this was before I even started practicing. It just took me there casually. But the fitrah knows, right? Yeah. That you call upon Allah alone.
That makes sense to
you don't call upon somebody in a grave. You call upon Allah alone.
Yeah.
And I think at that point the fitrah kicked in. But then I said too much in front of a crowd, and it could have got ugly really quick.
Yeah, like you say, a lot of the everyday lay people, a lot of them are just following what's going on. Yeah. They're like, they don't question it. They just go with it like sheep. Yeah. But the so-called scholars and learned people are the ones that they know what they're doing. That they're doing these wrong things, and misguiding people.
In their mind, they think they're doing the right thing, that this is Islam. Yeah. They're genuinely in their mind, they don't think that they're doing something wrong. Yeah. But even the pagans of Mecca during the time of the Prophet ﷺ, if you ask them, they believed in Allah. Yeah. They believed in Allah. They didn't say that this idol over here created me, or they created the heaven. Allah mentions this in the Quran. When you ask them, who created the heaven and the earth? Yeah. They would say Allah, so they believed in Allah, but they'd use these, these idols to kind of get closer to Allah. Yeah. And the same thing was happening here with these people that were buried. So they genuinely believe they're doing a righteous deed. Worship Allah alone.
Exactly.
Don't commit shirk. This is the message of all the...
and another thing is, no matter how bad you think you are, whether you're smoking, drugs, women, whatever, you're still a Muslim. Don't give up your salah. You know what I'm saying? Like you said to me before when we was having a coffee, that like you knew this guy who he would go to the nightclub, but before he goes to the nightclub, he'd be praying. He'd say, "I'm just going to pray Isha," and people laugh at that. Yeah, but that's good.
Yeah, that's good. It's better than the one who doesn't pray and goes to the club.
At the end of the day, if you abandon the salah, this can take you outside of Islam.
Yeah, of course.
The going to the nightclub doesn't take you outside of Islam. Yeah, it's a major sin, etc. But keep your salah on point. This is my message to the youth. And this podcast, inshallah, I'm going to release it in Ramadan.
Okay.
You know, so we're just saying to the brothers and the sisters out there, look, now's your time. Most probably you're fasting, and most Muslims, they respect Ramadan and they take Ramadan seriously. Know that this is a month of practice. You know, get in the habit of doing your salah. You know, just the 5 daily prayers. Get in the habit of not missing them, getting them on time. You know, and if you do miss them, and when you miss them, you might miss one by accident. Make it up. The moment you remember, do it. And you will be successful.
Inshallah.
If you do that, you will be guaranteed paradise. Your final destination will be paradise. Every Muslim, everyone who dies as a Muslim is guaranteed their final destination is Jannah. You know, and that's what I want to get through to these guys. And look, you know, I wasn't a Muslim, I became a Muslim. You started practicing Islam, what, 13, 14, 15 years ago? Similar time
I was like 26 years old at the time.
Yeah, 26 years old. It's never too late.
Never too late.
You know, there's a famous scholar. He became Muslim at the age of 40, and he became a scholar.
Yeah, subhanallah.
After.
Look at that.
Look at the Sahaba. Abu Bakr, not Umar Khattab, but Abu Bakr was 40
I don't know.
when he became. You know, when the Prophet became.
Yeah, I don't know how, but yeah, they weren't basically born into Islam, right? It came at a later stage in their life.
Umar was to his late 20s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're scholars. These are the people we take our Islam from. So, you know, just a quick message out there. You know, we hope that you get some benefit from this. You know, we're not just here to entertain.
No.
You know, we want people to benefit from what we're saying.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can cook some of them little short ones out and put them on your TikTok.
yeah, inshallah.
Inshallah. Just before we go, bro, I wanted to give a shout out to your beard oil.
Yeah, Abu Baid.
Abu Baid.
Father of beards, yeah.
Check it out on Instagram. We'll put the link below as well, Abu Baid.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying this, but seriously, I've used the oil and I like it, mashallah.
Yeah,
It's very
alhamdulillah,
nice, mashallah.
alhamdulillah.
So I know I get a lot of messages asking me, how do you keep your beard? So check out Abu Baid, inshallah. So, bro,
Barakallah
it's a pleasure
feek,
having you,
man. It's been a pleasure, man.
And,
it's been a pleasure.
It's just good to catch up, and you know, when I come to Manchester, we'll have to.
Bro, we have to hook up, man. I can't believe that we've lived in the same city. We're from the same city. But the first time we properly met is in Gambia.
Yeah.
That's, you know.
So I'll let you show me some of the nice restaurants on Cheetham Hill Road.
Yeah,
inshallah.
man, definitely, bro.
Jazakallah khair.
Barakallah.
It's not Ramadan for us, but by the time this video comes out, inshallah, it'll be in Ramadan.
Yeah.
So I ask Allah to accept your fast in Ramadan.
Ameen.
And make lots of dua and remember me in your dua as well.
Ameen. Inshallah, we'll do.
Jazakallah khair.
Yeah, man.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
إنك لا تهدي من أحببت ولكن الله يهدي من يشاء